Hi, Jen.
How are you?
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good too.
Yeah?
I'm happy it's Wednesday.
Samesies.
I'm ready to not be working in the near
Felt.
future.
Yeah.
Today is going to be really nice. It's going to be a little bit of a breath of fresh air, I think.
I love that.
The listeners that we have. I think
Ooh.
that's going to be really nice. So I kind of want you to talk about the ideation behind this episode.
Okay, word. I can do that. Today we're calling this episode a conference call.
We need to have a conference call. We need to have a team meeting.
We need to have a check-in. We're having a debrief.
We are debriefing.
What the fuck
absolutely.
have the girls been up to? You know what I mean?
What are we doing?
Yeah. So basically we wanted to just do like a fun, lighthearted little episode series that we'll do, I don't know.
From time to time.
Yeah.
When we feel that things need to be broken up a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We've been covering some heavy topics lately, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
But that's kind of heavy on the mental health. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Or just like things that take a lot of brain power. They get you thinking, they get the wheels turning. And sometimes it's like you just want to listen to something that doesn't need that. You just want to mindlessly stare at a wall and listen to our podcast episode.
Period.
Yeah.
Here we are.
And here we are.
I love that.
So get your wall ready to stare at while you listen to this episode.
What's new with the Call It Girls? I'm sure that's a question that's on your mind frequently. What's new with Jen and Elle?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm sure people wake up wondering that.
I do.
What Jen and Alex are doing.
I wake up
don't
wondering
even
that.
think that about myself. I literally wake up and I just go. So we're going to talk about what's going on in our lives, what's current,
what's going on, what
some pop culture maybe if we see fit.
Current events, I don't know, maybe
People,
something I'm
things.
listening to.
Yeah,
you know what
just
I mean?
relevant shit.
Yeah, I love that.
Cool. Well, I'm going to get into a disclaimer if that's cool.
I was just going to ask you to do that. Lovely.
Well, here I am. Here I go. Here's our disclaimer. This one's not going to be as intense as our other ones just because we are just kind of flying off the cuff today. Yeah.
We're vibing.
But as always, I think I want to do a disclaimer about Jen and I's intentions maybe when it comes to our podcast and when we start talking about topics. It is our opinion, but we're never, if anything is ever offensive or it's triggering, it's never our intention.
No.
And that doesn't mean that we don't take responsibility if there is something said that you disagree with or that maybe just doesn't make you feel the best. We take full responsibility for that, but just know it's not coming from a place of malice. We're just here spitballing, just saying things.
I'm just a girl.
And yeah, we're just girls, okay? We're just two blondes.
At the end of the day.
We're just two blondes trying to make it in the real world, okay? We're like basically two Elle Woods.
Oh,
yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
I hate pink, but okay, I'll be the green one.
The green one what?
You can be pink, Elle Woods.
I don't want
green.
to be pink Elle Woods.
Okay, I'm just trying to be
She's
funny.
a metaphor.
I'm feeling attacked.
Okay.
Anyways.
It's a metaphor. Metaphorically speaking, you can be whatever color you want. This isn't Power Rangers. We don't gotta pick. If you want to be pink, be pink. Jen wants to be green. We know that she's a green sage girly swirly.
I'm cracking up over here. That was so funny. Anyways,
we just hope you know that everything we say or do typically comes from a place of love, unless we're getting off on a rant. Just pardon us and know that we'll bring it around back. And we always try and say and do things with the utmost respect for everybody. So with that being said, Jen, take a little deep dive cannonball can opener right into our episode today.
Hey guys. I heard you want to.
That goes up an octave every week. Hey guys.
Hey guys. What do you want me to go like super low?
No.
Hey guys.
I just wanted to point it out.
Oh, word.
That's it.
Well, hey guys. I heard you want to hear a little bit about what's going on in my life. So since I love oversharing, here we are. I feel like I'm going to look at this within the last month, maybe 2 months since we've started this podcast.
It's a good time frame.
Which is crazy. This is episode number 8. 2 months.
Whoa.
I love that for us.
You know what's cool? I'm giving Jen and I points and gold stars for consistency, for bringing the vibes and the energy every week, because it is kind of hard to just show up and hope that you've got what you need to make the episode. And I think that we've been doing really good so far. So I hope that we're giving ourselves a pat on the back.
Fist bump.
Let's go.
We just fist bumped. Yeah, okay. So last 2 months-ish, last couple of weeks, I feel like I'm in a pretty good place at the moment. For a minute there was a time where I was not. I was being a little shit to myself, and I was just not in a good space, to be completely honest. But I feel like I'm out of that for the most part. I feel like I'm doing a lot better. Back to my little sunshiny self, Jen. You know what I mean? I'm excited to be here again today, just kind of letting you guys know what's going on in my life. That brings me into, I feel like I have a really good group of people around me right now. Alex, obviously, my bestie.
Yee.
My family for always supporting me, you know. I just feel like I'm at a good place mentally, emotionally, physically. I love everyone around me. I'm just having a good time lately.
Do you feel like that's due to like personal choices you've made?
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I always find it interesting hearing other people's perspective on this because I've struggled with it too. But coming out of college, you've obviously met a lot of people in your graphic design program. Do you have people that have reached out to you or maybe like asked you to do things and you're just like, that's just not serving me, which is totally cool?
I've definitely experienced things like that. Yeah.
But the only reason I bring it up is because I felt the same way.
Yeah.
Kind of being like, it's not that I don't want to see you. It's just I'm not going to go out of my way to spend time with you and pour energy into you because I want to do that elsewhere.
I feel
and it's nothing against the person.
No,
it's just
have a lot going on and a lot of new things going on as well. It's like the episode we talked about last week or the week before, time management and things like that.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? That's a big part of my life. Yeah, I feel like I've just been doing a better job of prioritizing things, doing things for myself, realizing that, and this goes back to the book I'm reading. I don't need to please absolutely everyone around me. The main thing that matters is I'm pleasing myself.
And that's why I asked, because I found it extremely difficult in the last couple of weeks if somebody were to ask me to do something that I would feel obligated to say yes or to respond. And it's like, I just don't have the time or like the capacity to respond and be like, yes, I would love to do something. Let's get this. Because it's like, as soon as you say yes, I don't know if you feel this way, but if you say yes to it, then you're like dreading the whole time leading up to that hangout.
I feel that.
And then you're like, when can this be over? So it's kind of doing a disservice to the other person is what I mean.
Yeah, when you can't like fully dedicate yourself to that.
Yeah, you're not invested.
Exactly. That's a good way of putting it. Absolutely. Yeah. I feel like I've been doing a better job at all of that, but also I used to be in a very dark place. I'm not anymore. So the positive energy that I'm putting into the world, I feel like is finally fucking starting to come back to me.
Hell yeah.
For once. Because it's been a rough year and a half. Let's just say that. But I wrote something funny in my notes that I'm going to share with you guys because it wouldn't be a Call It episode if I didn't bring up Taylor Swift. Are you fucking kidding me?
Who's taking bets? Who took bets? Because I did. Just kidding. Go ahead.
I mean, if you take that bet, you're going to be winning.
I want to become rich. That's why I'm taking that bet.
Yeah,
10 out of 10 times. Taylor Swift or Boy Genius.
Literally. You know me so well.
And that's the next bullet point.
Shut the fuck up. Okay, anyways, I think I wrote down a Taylor Swift lyric, so I'm going to sing it. I'm not a good singer. I hope you find this funny. Okay? Karma is my boyfriend. You know?
Yeah.
So Karma is what I'm thinking about right now.
Is Karma a guy on the Chiefs coming home to me?
You know, not for me. But for Taylor, I love that for her.
I do too.
Period. Can't relate, but can relate, if you know what I'm saying.
Can't relate, no.
I mean, that kind of segues into my next topic too. I want to talk about what's been inspiring me. It's March now. Happy March. I don't know. St. Patrick's Day is this month. I guess that's cool.
I think it's the 17th.
I think so. Happy early St. Patrick's Day, everyone.
Yeah. Oh, can I say something quick?
Absolutely.
Happy International Women's Day.
Month.
Well, it's the month, but Friday, when this episode is released, the 8th, is International Women's Day.
Oh, I didn't know that. Look at you educating me.
I got you. So, yeah, happy month, happy day to all the womans out there.
I love it. I've been thinking about that a lot. If you didn't know, the entire month of March is International Women's History Month, okay? Probably not international, but it's Women's History Month, okay?
It's international. That shit is international.
It better be.
It is. It should actually be galactic, in my opinion. I feel like all galaxies, all planets
I love it.
have to celebrate.
Period. As they should. But because it's that time of month or time of year, I guess, I've been doing a lot of thinking about the women in my life, the women who've come before me, the people who have trailblazed the paths for younger women and women like me and Alex, myself. And there are some that I want to bring up. I think there's a lot of really great role models today for women, so I'm going to educate y'all a little bit.
Educate us. Bring us to church, Jen.
Okay, so Taylor Swift, duh. But I think...
Shocker.
I know, right? The whole, like, oh my God, she's at a football game and is, like, on TV for 30 seconds. First of all, fuck you. She can be on TV for 30 seconds or whatever it is. But I bring this up because I feel like some people don't realize how big of a role model she is for the youths. And me. I'm 23, but especially young children. Like, she's so inspiring, just doing her fucking thing, being so unapologetically herself. I love that. Why should we not celebrate that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The next one I have written down is Simone Biles. I love her.
Her husband needs to take a fucking back seat, though. He needs to chill. He needs to relax. Sir, know what you have.
Period.
Know the worth of your woman, and then shut the hell up.
Amen.
End of spiel.
If we don't know who she is, very powerful gymnast. Her husband is on the Green Bay Packers.
Snooze. I don't even know who he is.
I don't either. I just know that he's on the Packers because I'm from Wisconsin.
No, I know that. But it's probably because you're like, oh, Simone Biles' husband.
No, exactly. Period.
Mm-hmm.
She's more famous. And then I wrote Megan Rapinoe, who is very large soccer star. We love her.
Jen, I think her last name is Rapinoe.
Whatever. However you pronounce it. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. No, I just want to tell you.
What did I say? Whatever. Not important. And then I also brought up Malala Yousafzai, which I watched a video on how to pronounce that one. So you're welcome. And so many other women are leading the way, okay? These are just some that I find super inspiring, and if you don't know much about them, I think you should look up their stories. Another special thing about this group of women that I bring up is they're all from different cultures, they're all different races, they come from many different backgrounds, religions, they also have different sexual orientations, so fucking representation within the women.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Yeah.
All of these ladies just being strong, fucking powerful, beautiful, independent women. I love that shit. And that's something that inspires me.
Yeah. And I think that you listed a lot of good options for just about anybody to look at the list and be like, okay, who do I most identify with? Who is most relatable to me?
Absolutely.
Because like Jen said, they're all fantastic women. They're all trailblazing. They're all doing exactly what they want to be doing. And they're not doing exactly what they don't want to be doing, which is almost even more important. They're not conforming. They're setting the path of what they choose to do.
I love that. And I think that's something that inspires me especially because it's hard to just kind of like be authentically yourself 24/7 sometimes. That's something that I've been struggling with. But
I feel like people are up to being highly criticized when you're trying to like be yourself. It's a very vulnerable place to be if you're just like authentically showing out 100% of the time who you are. People might have an issue with that. A lot of it stems from jealousy or from maybe not even just like the things that you have, but more internally, they're just like, I want that confidence. Like I want the bravery to go out there and be who I want to be. And because they just aren't at that stage yet, sometimes they want to take people down a peg, which is unfortunate.
I had something I was going to say, but I totally forgot it.
That's okay.
LOL. If I think of it, I'll bring it up. But I'll just go into my next topic of inspiration, which is music. For those who might not know this about me, I listen to music pretty much 24/7. Like, it has to be on when I'm working. It's on when I'm cooking. It's on usually when I'm showering, doing laundry. Any task that you can think of, I have something going on in the background, okay? So I thought it would be fun to share music that I find inspiring right now, or that I at least find myself listening to a lot, especially while designing, because that takes up a big portion of my life.
Love that.
So the first biggest one for me is Noah Kahan. Love him. I just got one of his vinyls recently, and it is amazing to
It's
listen
gorgeous.
to the entire thing. It's just so good.
Yeah, Jen's a vinyl girl.
I do.
She's a blast from the past. Born in, oh my God, hashtag born in the wrong decade. Do people still say that?
I don't fucking know.
Well, it's cringy a little bit, but I do understand the truth to it.
Yeah.
But I say it all in jokes.
Fun fact about me, I have 73 vinyls now, which is crazy.
That's a lot.
I know.
I didn't know it was that many.
Yeah.
Do you listen to most of them?
Some of them I keep for show. Like, I will probably never play them. Specifically, my grandma gave me one. It's like a all Polish Christmas mass.
Oh.
Yeah, from like a
Yeah,
Catholic
I don't really
church.
see you just whipping that out on a Friday night to
No.
get pumped up
I
for
mean, like
drinks.
maybe in the holiday season, but I also don't speak Polish. But I love it, and I love that it's in my collection.
Polish songs are a bop. I will
Slay.
say.
I love
They
that.
do kind of like get you up and moving, but in a very Polish way.
Well, I'm very Polish, so I might have to give this a listen. Maybe
Yeah.
that'll be on my list next week, you know?
To-do list.
Okay, so Noah Kahan, Camp is a big one, and it's not spelled camp. It's CAAMP for those listening.
Comp.
What I don't like about them is they're from Ohio. So Camp, if you're listening, I'm sorry. You're probably the best thing that's ever coming out of Ohio. Coming out. What the fuck did I just say?
That's okay.
You know what I'm trying to say? The best thing that's ever come out of Ohio.
I would agree. That John Legend. Joe Burrow.
Ew. Anyways,
Oh my God. Joe Burrow's a cutie.
I don't like football.
Yeah, but just because he's not football, like he does other things.
I am football. I have purse.
I have first.
I've also been listening to a lot more like old folky stuff, more than usual. I already listened to that a ton, but specifically John Denver, Fleetwood Mac, the fucking Doobie Brothers. Don't even get me started. I've just been like really vibing to folky stuff lately. And I love that. Maybe that's going to show in my work. Maybe not, because I work for a university and the colors are very limited. But
I feel like it sets the right mood for
Yes.
designing.
No,
Maybe you're not
exactly.
designing a John Denver poster.
I could, though.
You could, but as far as like your work goes for the university, if you're in a good mood, you're going to put out your best work. So there you go.
Yeah. Less chaotic. Definitely kind of gets me in the zone, because although you can understand what they're listening or what they're saying in their songs, you don't necessarily have to listen. I feel like with some people, or like some musicians at least, you kind of have to listen to the lyrics to know what's going on, or like it's just kind of chaotic all in general. But
True.
I like the chill stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree.
I mean, other than that, I've just been kind of vibing, living my best life. I've been going to Whole Foods a lot more.
Love
Alex
Whole
got me on that
Foods.
grind.
They just have the best soup. They've got soup. They have
do.
croissants. They have drinks. They have flowers. They have so many wonderful things. Like, name it, the list of what things that they don't have would be shorter. And the
Literally.
list is nothing. Because they have everything.
They really do. Pretty much before every single episode that we film, Alex and I go to Whole Foods and get a little din-din or a snack or something. Usually it's soup.
Yeah, typically soup, or sometimes they'll get like a little pasta something.
Yeah.
Or if they've got like something good that's in their hot section. But it's pretty rare.
Yeah.
It's usually picked over by then, but I can't fault them for that, because that just means everybody else is on the same grind as we are.
Hey, but that shows it's good.
It does
If people
show
are
it's
going to
good.
keep buying that,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Speaking of Whole Foods, if you have one near you and you want an alternative to shitty frozen pizza,
Oh,
they have a kit that you can put together, and the total is about $12. I think it's
Yes,
$11.94. You get freshly made pizza dough. You let it rise for 30 minutes at room temperature. So if you have a 15-minute drive home, that's only 15 minutes you have to let
Literally.
it. So while your oven is preheating, then you do a little bit of their marinara sauce. You can buy large pepperonis and also mozzarella. All of that is $12, and you have one of the most delicious, delectable pizzas ever.
So good.
It tastes like restaurant pizza. However, it doesn't make you feel shitty.
Okay, and then what did you tell me to put on top of it?
Oh, I would recommend the hot honey for sure.
Yes.
But to do sliced jalapenos. But for me, I haven't been doing the hot honey as much just because I haven't been like, I usually love salty and sweet together. But right now with my pepperoni pizza, I'm like a full stand on pepperoni only.
I love that.
But I'm just doing crushed red pepper to add a little bit of spice.
Love.
So that's my take on Whole Foods.
Well, on that note, excuse me, I don't know what happened there.
Frog in your throat.
It's that Whole Foods.
The soup was dry.
Anyways, with that, let's segue into what's Al been up to? What's my girl been doing?
So what's been going on with me? Let's see here. I've had an interesting last couple of weeks. Few weeks, I guess I should say. I've had a lot of large projects going on simultaneously. I feel like sometimes it's really hard for me to not default to only talking about my professional life. I sometimes find my personal life kind of boring when people are like asking me, or like I don't ever want to sound braggy or like, oh, things are really good, or it's like things are always really good, or I'm like kind of going through it and then it's just like I don't want to talk about the negatives. So it's been a really interesting in between. Jen's always has a very positive spin on this. I recently met a friend of hers that she went to school with. Their name is Katie. I just had the most lovely conversation with them, and their comment was, Jen is always so positive on the podcast, and they really liked that. So what I'm going to try and do today is kind of, yes, I might talk about some struggles I'm going through because I always want to be genuine and like very upfront about what I'm talking about. However, I do want to always keep like there's a light at the end of the tunnel, you know, there's a silver lining. So I'm going to try and keep that in mind when I'm talking about things. So even though I may be decompressing here a little bit, it's for the better.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I think on a positive note, I've kind of learned on how to handle stress better, what I need to do moving forward, and how I can better set myself up to avoid the feelings that I have felt the last few weeks, which is just like being very hard on myself, a lot of negative self-talk, not giving myself the proper congratulations, pat on the back, however you want to say it. I need to do that a little bit more. It's really difficult because I always find myself in this position where, and I'm sure it's how I was raised, and just like the kind of the role that I've taken in a lot of my relationships is just I'm steady and I don't really talk about myself, and if I do, I try and keep it short. Or it's like if I get compliments, I want to redirect and be like, oh, thanks, you know. It's like then I got to say something else because it's kind of uncomfortable for me at some points. But with that being said, it's put me in a really negative habit of thinking that I can't talk about myself in a positive light. Otherwise, it won't come off as humble. It's going to come off as arrogant, or I'm full of myself. And that's never my intention. But I have to realize that because I'm so aware of that, I would never come off that way. So it's okay to talk about myself, because I also would never give my friends the advice to not give themselves kudos at the end of the day if they're just trying their best. I don't want to be hypocritical. So that's one thing that I've learned in the last few weeks, which I feel like is really good. Sometimes I feel like Jen and I switch off. Like she's having a really good couple of months, and then I'm like, not that I'm having bad months, but there's just a lot going on. I feel very overwhelmed, overstimulated at times. But I am more than happy if that's exactly how it is. If that's how the shift is going to happen, I'm happy to give Jen as many months of peace and quiet as she wants, and I'll take the moments of growth and learning for sure. I also, as I'm talking, want to talk more personally rather than professionally, since I said I rarely do that. And if it weren't for how I felt personally the last month or so, I feel like I would have enjoyed my work more. And that's always a goal of mine, because like I always preach, I don't live to work. I want to work and then live the rest of my life outside of work. I just want to put more of an emphasis on that. So I do feel like I need to draw more boundaries, just in a general sense, professionally and personally. I see this as an incredible opportunity to just lighten my load a little bit. I think boundaries are extremely difficult. We talked, so I also want to apologize. We said that this episode was going to be nice and light and not heavy like our other ones, but
also if you got shit going on, we're going to talk about it.
Well, yeah. No, I get that. But
I'm just saying, like, nothing, even though we wanted this to be a happy episode, or at least like a little less heavy than other ones, talk your shit, you know?
Well, I am going to talk my shit, and I feel like it's okay because it's just about me. Like, this is not advice for anybody else. Like, I'm just saying this out loud so I can replay this back later and be like, okay, that was good. Nice progress. Exactly.
I called you spook. I meant to say pook.
I am a little spooky today.
Same.
Yeah.
Always.
So when I talk about drawing boundaries, I think about just saying no. That is such a scary word to me because I feel like it's so closed off. It's like no. And a lot of times instead of being like no period, I think what it's like is if I were to say no to Jen or no to anybody else, you know, my boyfriend, my parents, however that looks, if I were to say no, I think the people who really know me, they don't think that I'm saying no and I'll never say yes.
Right.
It's just kind of like no for right now. But I think my fear is saying no and then I'll never get asked again or that opportunity won't arise. So I feel like I have to say yes when I'm not ready for the instances when I do say yes and I really want to be there. It's kind of a weird place to be in, but that's kind of how I feel.
Yeah.
Another thing too is, so if you're saying no, and this is maybe more towards acquaintances or I think professionally speaking, if I say no to a project or just no in general, if the response is negative, it's a good indication that that was the right answer, that it just wasn't a good thing. So it's really tough I always feel extra bad too when I say no and then the response is positive and very supportive and then you're like, oh, they're the best. Like, why did I just do that? That was so silly. I think right now I'm focused on not doing anything because I feel obligated. My focus is to be fully present and excited and to start getting more excited about things and events in my life. I feel like I haven't genuinely gotten excited about a lot of things since middle of college for me. It's almost like those emotions have taken a hiatus, a little bit of a backseat. And I don't want to take up somebody else's space because they deserve commitment. And I think that we talked about this in another episode as Jen was on the receiving end of somebody kind of giving her excuses and not giving her the same energy back. And I don't want to say I'll never do that. I'll never intentionally do it.
Yeah.
And I've just seen how it's reflected to somebody else. So I'm not going to do that. But also at the same time, I'm going to put myself first. So
absolutely.
And I don't take responsibility for how other people receive that because I know I'm being as kind and gentle as possible.
Right. This goes back to kind of what I was talking about earlier with the whole karma stuff, which, I mean, I'm not going to say I like fully believe in karma. I don't know what the fuck I believe in. Okay. But I do think, and I do believe in this, there is an energy or presence in the world that if you put positive things into the world, positive things will come to you. Or if you say no to things and people overreact or like flip at you, that's also a sign that it wasn't meant for you. I'm a big believer in the things that are meant for you will come to you, and they're coming.
Yeah, I think I'm just focusing on being a good person, but I've focused on being a good person for everybody else but myself for so long that I need to just be like, I trust that I have such a good habitual movement of putting other people first. Now I can trust that will continue as I now redirect more of my focus to myself.
Yeah, I'm proud of you for that.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm proud of me too. And I'm going to say that because I am. There's been a lot of like growth this year, even in the last few years, doing better and better every day. But I think it's admitting when I don't do something correct and having the confidence and the bravery to correct myself and just keep doing better.
Sure.
So, speaking of which, I want to start talking nicer to myself, but also I want to admire myself a little bit more.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
That's so fun.
It is fun. I think that if I were to meet myself and see myself from like an outside perspective, I would admire that person. Because what I'm doing, I'm trying to lead by example for myself. It's like such a weird like inflection to have, but I want to say that out loud and feel really good about it. Like a lot of manifestation. I think that's maybe a good word. We talked about that before.
Yes,
but
ma'am.
you know, like everybody has an inner child that they want to just like comfort and hold.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think that she would be very proud of where I'm at, and I need to give kudos for myself. So I'm going to gas myself up, even if it's uncomfortable.
Period.
And I think before I'd consider that being full of myself, but not no more.
No.
Mm-mm. So speaking of which, Jen was kind of talking about the things that make her really happy or that produce the best out of her. For me, I want to start doing things that help me feel more balanced and calm, whatever that means. And I think that's just in my daily rituals, you know, what I eat, what I'm doing in my moments when I'm not at work, you know, the time that I'm spending with my friends or with my boyfriend or my family. It's just making sure that I'm doing things that not only they love, that challenges myself. You know, if I'm trying something new, my boyfriend and I went rock climbing sometime last year, and that was extremely difficult, but it was so much fun. I would do it again, but extremely difficult. I just want people out there to know that if you're a rock climber, wow.
Kudos to you, apparently.
Kudos to you, because I was 2 minutes in and I had rocks for forearms.
Oh.
I could not. They were so tight, and I still had 45 minutes left of climbing.
Oh, that is so fun.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
I had a blast. It was so good.
I can tell by the smile on your face right now, Pook.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. But even though doing things like that are challenging and maybe like positively stressful in a way, like you're putting stress on your body because it's new and you're not really sure what to expect. But what I got from that was just, that was really cool. Like just such a self-fulfilling moment there. But I'm an incredibly anxious human being. I don't know if you've gotten that. Grabbed that from the previous episodes. How
quirky of us.
I know. We're so quirky. Oh my gosh, we're just like so random.
I'm just like not like any other girl.
No. There's only one of me.
I'm one in a million. Isn't that like a fucking Hannah Montana song or something?
It is. It is.
You're welcome.
What's another Hannah Montana song that I can relate to right now?
It's the climb.
Yeah, we referenced that before. Yeah. Nobody's perfect. I gotta work it again and again till I get it right.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ooh, that was good. So I want to start having a day every week where I let myself be creative without having an end result in mind. This is another thing that I want to do that I think will create that balance and that calmness that I'm searching for.
I love that.
So I've been crocheting a bunch.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I
love it. I think I need to get the ring that you can hook your yarn into. So with your non-crocheting hand, the one that's holding the yarn, it just gently feeds it. So you don't have to have like the weird claw holding it.
That's cool.
It is really cool. I think you can get them on Etsy. But I'm doing a scarf right now. I'm starting very minimal.
I love it.
Here's a little backstory on crocheting. When I was in college, I took I can't remember what they called the class. It was like
needlework?
No. It was basically a crafts class, but they try to dress it up and make it sound a lot fancier than it was. But one of our assignments was we needed to teach ourselves basically a skill or a craft, create a project out of it, and then teach the other classmates.
That's so fun.
It was something. I chose crocheting, and it was my first time. Okay. My cousin Keelan taught me how to crochet the last 2 years. I wish I would have met her or like had her in college teaching me these things because she's a crochet master. I believe it's Crochet Creations by Keelan or something like that on Instagram if you want to go check her out. She does like little crop tops, like little festival outfits. She does crocheted shopping bags. Like she did
She's
rose, I think.
Woman of many talents.
She's so cool. I hope she listens to this one day. She's an architect. She's a crocheter. She's fab. She's so fashionable. She's gorgeous.
The one conversation I had with her, I was just going to say, she is one of the funniest fucking human beings I've ever met in my life.
She has one of those like dry, sarcastic sense of humor where like for me, like I have dad humor. or I'm just weird. It's like one or the other.
So quirky,
She's
Alex.
so clever. So clever. So I wish that I had her during this class because I remember I was on the women's hockey team and we were away that weekend. So on the bus ride, I was trying to find a YouTube video to teach me how to do this. I could not figure out how to turn and like start my second chain. So I just had a long string.
Period.
No. No, question mark.
Art is what you make of it, Al.
Well, my professor did not agree. She said, why could you only crochet the small square? I told her it was a pot holder. It was 3 by 3 inches. What pot do you know is only 3 inches in diameter?
There's one right there.
Are you cooking in it? A pot.
Oh. Well, in my head, I'm visualizing a cutie little like square for a plant to sit on.
Oh no, it was for a pot. So it doesn't burn the surface.
Oh.
It was so small, it still burned the surface. So I didn't score well on that, but I've recently, through Keelan, gotten my drive back for crocheting, and now I love it.
Full circle moment.
Oh,
right
it is.
there.
Mm-hmm. That's called that's the manifestation.
That's called growth.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what?
What?
During Women's History Month, how historic of you. How groundbreaking.
I am making history.
You should email your professor and be like, hey, lady, look at what I did.
What would I be? What would I go down as? The first woman to attempt crochet in college, miserably fail, get a D on her assignment, turn it around 2 years later, still need a lot of help, but she can now make a scarf.
And you know what? Amen.
Amen. Hallelujah.
You know what? She's a historical figure in my life.
God took over my body and said, she shall crochet.
I can't. Okay.
Moving on. I would also like to start painting again. Love it. Love to paint. I'd even like to try new mediums. I think ceramics is a given because I love the functionality of it, but I just don't think that I have the money. I don't got that moolah. I don't got the bones.
Ceramics is also my favorite art form besides digital art. And tell me why that stuff is so expensive.
It's sickening.
So expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Like a mid-range machine is like $2,000.
Yeah, that's mid.
Just for the wheel.
Just for the wheel.
The Wheel of Fortune. Anyways.
You would be Vanna White on Wheel of Fortune.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Yeah, you're very graceful like she is. And
I don't know about that.
No, seriously.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
I also would like to get back into cooking.
Love that.
Mm-hmm. Jen's like, oh, if you do, like, I'll poison test for you.
No, literally.
Yeah.
I love when people cook for me. Or like, me and Alex do this quite frequently. We'll like go to the grocery store, get a couple things and cook together. Or some nights she'll cook for me and I cook for her.
Mm-hmm.
I love that shit. There's something about like cooking with somebody or sharing food with somebody that just makes you connect a little bit more.
I feel like that's actually how, like, if you're diverse in culture from somebody else, I feel like that's a really good way to get to know somebody and somebody else's culture is through the gift of food.
I agree.
I think that's so fantastic.
You want to know? Okay. I don't think I've told you this. I'm also trying to get back into cooking more. Like, I mean, I've always liked cooking,
right,
but trying new things more frequently. And I've been watching some videos to get some inspiration.
Ooh.
Okay. Have you heard of Bon Appetit on YouTube?
Yes.
Okay. They have a segment with Chris Morocco, who is one of their chefs there.
Okay.
And basically, he is blindfolded. Like, they have 2 blindfolds on him, so he can't see anything. Okay. And he's given a food that either a celebrity or like a famous chef made. He gets to taste it, and then he has to recreate it fully from taste. And then he'll like make it, do a first round, and then he gets to try it again and do one final round. But
interesting.
it is so cool because I don't think I could ever do this myself, but the fact that he's blindfolded and has to like sift through all these different elements and ingredients. I just find that so inspiring. And it brings up a lot of things that I didn't even think to put in some of these dishes that I've made before, you know? So
it's kind of interesting. I think one take that I love about cooking is sometimes to get that restaurant quality taste that everybody knows and loves, that they feel like they can't replicate at home, it's either sometimes it's adding something that you didn't think was noticeable, but because it works in harmony with another ingredient, it creates like that secondary flavor almost in a way because they're meshing together. Or it's actually simplifying. A lot of like Italian dishes and pasta that I make, I remember going on Pinterest and looking for a great Alfredo recipe, and I would always think Alfredo that is like Olive Garden's, right? Yeah. Olive Garden is quite possibly the most disrespectful variation of Italian food that ever exists.
You're so right.
I think that if any Italian self-respecting heard that you're like, I love Italian food, Olive Garden's my favorite, shame.
What about Va Bene?
Hell yeah. Yeah, I can't say Va Bene's a wonderful restaurant that's just on the water in Duluth, Minnesota. It's down by Sir Benedict's.
Yeah.
And it's probably, the thing is, I don't want to act like I know what actual Italian cuisine is, but I feel like that's at least, closer. It might be an Italian hybrid.
I love that.
Like a fusion food kind of a thing, but it's still very good. But yeah, I think that as soon as you admit you love Olive Garden and it's your favorite Italian restaurant, you're immediately banned from Italy.
Wrong.
And you're wrong. You're wrong.
You're
sorry.
A white American.
Oops. Like dusty white.
Oh my God.
You're as white as it gets, baby, without being transparent. So anyways, I think that Italian's my favorite, but what I've learned from it is they actually cook with the least amount of ingredients, and that's why it tastes so good.
I love
it's because it's quality over quantity. So when I think of a great Alfredo sauce, I even feel like I probably put too much in there. I don't think that they use heavy whipping cream. They don't do any dairy besides Parmesan. I think it's Parmesan, and then I feel like it's Parmesan Reggiano. That's so bad. Oh my God. I might clip that out. That sounds awful.
What?
Just my Italian.
Okay.
Parmesan Reggiano.
I constantly mess up on my words. So
no, I know.
Fine.
I know. I won't crop it because I love myself for who I am.
Yes, you do, baby. Self-love.
But what I'm saying is sometimes less is better. And that's do as the Italians do. No, that's French. Fuck. Anyways.
And you know what? We love you for who you are, Al.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Keeping it interesting.
I just did my 23andMe a couple of months ago, and I got like 0.01% Italian. So I think that shows that I am mostly Scandinavian Norwegian, but also a little Irish and British.
Top of the morning to ya.
Top of the morning to ya.
I can't. Oh my God.
I quote this all the time to Jen, and this is what I'm going to end on. Thinking of my British side. Okay, there's two things. Okay, so exactly. there's the first quote that I'll do is British, and it's from Millie Bobby Brown, and she's doing an interview, and they're asking what favorite cut of carrot is hers, and she either has like, the traditional straight from the garden farm carrot or like the little baby carrots packaged, and she goes, no, I like these, and they're the farm carrots. She goes, the dirtier the better. And she's got her big British teeth out, and I love it. And then my second one, I think it's Irish or Scottish, interchangeable at this point, but it's the video where the little girl is getting mad at her sister because her iPad wasn't charging. She goes, thanks a lot, Rachel. Thanks to you, my charger's not charging on my iPad. It's charging your iPad. And that concludes our episode. Thank you guys.
And on that note, we're
so
done.
much for joining us on this spiritual journey we just took.
Literally, I just reached nirvana.
Yeah. So if you could take your hands to heart center, put your thumbs in between your third eye, and bow and know that this shitty week we're having will get better.
This too shall pass.
This too shall pass.
Mm-hmm. Period.
Wow, that was stunning. Anything else you want to add?
I guess just a big thank you to everyone who's been listening.
Mm-hmm.
We can see the numbers. We see who's tuning in. So
all 7 of you.
Specifically Katie. I'm looking at you right now. Thank you, Queen.
If I knew what percentage that 1 of 7 was, I'd give that to you, baby. I would. You're the best. You're a real one. We should send merch to all 7.
Oh, fuck yeah. I love it. It would be Katie, my dad, and my mom. Your parents.
They haven't listened to the last 4. How
okay.
Sad. My mom's like, oh, I'm 4 behind. And I'm like, yeah, and you're going to be 5 behind if you don't start going.
Okay, but seriously, to everyone who's been listening, even if you just watch a couple minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
Thank you. I have been having a lot of fun with this, and it is something that actually has been a big increase in my mental health, I think. So, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, but why I bring this up is I forced myself to watch Moana the other night. I don't know. I was just in a mood.
Oh, Moana's good. I think that they're coming out with a second
They
one.
are, and that's why I watched it.
You know what else I wanted to watch? Ratatouille.
Yes.
I think I might watch that tonight while I do laundry and slave away.
Love it.
Oh, I think I have to unclog my shower drain too.
Ew.
Yeah, I've put it off too long.
I love being a woman.
I'm every woman. It's all in my clog drain. I can write a message with my hair on the wall. And that's on womanhood.
Period. All right. Well,
okay. Love you guys.
Goodbye.
Smell you next week. Good night.